So we talked a little bit about setting up your class page, and I'm going to show you some specifics of what to do. This first page, this is a sample class, so this is no longer Melissa's class, but this first page, on the first page, I'm going to title it Welcome Page, and that's how I do that. So that is how I save the title for a page. Now, in looking on this left-hand side, I have a week for week 1, and I have a week for week 4. So I haven't added anything for weeks 2 and 3 yet. And I want to actually add those. I'm going to call this one week 2, title it, and I can actually put it at the bottom of the list of pages or as a subpage. Just a quick note about if you make a subpage, lots of times students won't see a subpage. And so I would advise against making very many of those subpages. So I'm just going to save it at the bottom of the list of pages, even though it'll be out of order. I'm going to click Save. And I'm going to do the same thing with week 3. I'm going to title it week 3. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the list of pages. And none of these are published yet, so remember you'll have to go back through and publish your pages. But that's going to really bother me that those are out of order. And so I'm going to want to change the page numbers, change them around a little bit. And what you can do is, so see here you have your welcome page week 1, week 4, week 2, and week 3. I'm just going to click and drag week 2 up here and week 3 up there, so they're in order. And then I'm going to apply that change, and you'll see that it saved everything over there. Now, once I pull up one of these pages, like here's week 3, I can begin adding content, and I can begin adding work to it, like for the students. So adding a content block can do several things, and I'll show you a couple of those. So here is where you will add any kind of instructions, such as your on-page text. So maybe you want to give an outline of what the students will have to do, and you can type right onto the page with that button. You can add files, you can add pictures, you can add video or YouTube links. And this is all what you will do right through this adding content block. So with this, I want to go through and I want to add on-page text. And what I would do is I would write assignments, day 1, read your book, and so on, like that. And then I'm going to click Save, and you'll see how it shows up. So it'll show up just like this. And you can kind of play around with these content blocks, and you can change the font, you can change the size, you can add a picture to these content blocks. It's pretty easy how you walk through adding a content block. But I did want to show you how to do that. Now, another way to add a content block is just to go up to activities, and let's say you want to add assignments or assessments. But the best way to do that, if you go up to this activities and you add an assignment through here, it's going to show up in your list of assignments, but it's not going to show up on week 3. And where week 3 is where you want this assignment to show. So to add an assignment, I'm going to do it right on week 3, and it'll create a Dropbox for it. And you can search the existing, you can make a new, and I'll show you that in a different video. But I just wanted to let you know that it was there, and it was important that you do that through your weekly pages. Here's also where you can add a wiki project, and we'll go over what that is. You can add a discussion, you can add a poll, an announcement. All of these things can be added through this content block. And again, you can kind of play around with those to see what you like to do the best.